Hi, my name's Nick Lopez. I'm the founder of Lime Painting. Today I wanted to talk to you about what it looks like to own a semi-passive business with Lime Painting. And it starts with building the right team, or as we call it, the dream team. And that team consists of a visual reality consultant, who is essentially an account manager, our creator, who is basically a production coordinator, and of course, your team of subcontractors. So we work with about 5 different categories of subcontractors that can do about 40 different services. These 3 different sets of partners are going to create an experience for your clients that, as an owner, allows you to be invested in your business for about 15 hours a week. And so I figured there'd be no better way to talk to you about what that looks like than to walk you through an actual account and how that dream team delivered the Lime experience. So we are at a private school called Aspen Academy. It's definitely one of the best schools here in Colorado. They found us online, basically through an organic search result, through our SEO. And they were wanting to update the exterior of the building. The inside's been recently updated, very modernized, and so that was the objective when they were doing their due diligence and trying to find the right vendor to partner with on transforming this school. Initially, we were contacted by the property manager who was vetting a handful of companies to ultimately be awarded this project. Once we were finalized down to one of 2 different vendors, we then met with the head of the school. It was a couple things really that won us this account. On one end, they were wanting to transform the property, so colors were a really big deal. And the fact that we work with a color designer and could provide that full consultation, that was one piece.
The way that Lime showed up in the bidding process, it looked at all of the angles, it looked at all of the particulars. We were able to see the details of what would be accomplished. And also there was a promise and an execution on the repairs that were going to need to take place as we went along. It's a really large job. And so the other part that caused me to feel really comfortable was to know that this was going to be a consultative process along the way.
This custom project needed a lot more than just painting. Ultimately, we ended up doing stucco restoration, trim restoration, we did a lot of direct to metal coatings, and we also did some stain work. 3 of the other companies could not do everything that we were able to do. They were really just paint companies. And so that's what ended up getting us this project.
I initially got this meeting after I was notified from the franchise owner, Nick Lopez. And I met with Christina, the client. She's the president of the board. We did the consultation. It's a large commercial building. It's about a 5-week project for us.
In working with Lime, we started first by examining what we've already done on the inside to take a 70-year-old, 80-year-old building and to transform it into really one of the most advanced educational environments in the state. Incredibly modern inside, but the outside just simply didn't match. So what we did is we really spent some time examining all of the ins and outs of what we had done in terms of color selection, programming, mixed materials, and what have you, to really bring the inside and the programmatic space to life, and then tried to really work together to marry that to what it was going to look outside. So we worked with Lime's owner and different folks within that team, but also their color consultant. And so we were able to come up with a scheme that we felt like would be very complementary, that would project both the image and the brand of Aspen Academy.
Our biggest differentiator at Lime is our visual reality consultation, where we are able to invoke emotion and cast a vision with the client by allowing them to express their personality through all the different services that we offer and casting that personality on their project.
We are incredibly happy with the paint colors that we chose, and we think that it really highlights the architecture as opposed to hiding it, and just feel like the process and that color consultation didn't just happen at the beginning, it happened pretty much on a weekly basis.
And so on this project, we were able to assess and advise a handful of different services from a durability standpoint, as well as an aesthetic. And so we started off with the head of the school by advising her on the different stucco surfaces that were deteriorating from water damage. They were crumbling and cracking. We also advised the head of the school on all the different trim around the project, which were starting to peel and the wood was cracking and getting waterlogged. And so ultimately our solution was a Peel Bond primer and a very water resistant top coat to ensure a result that would last the test of time.
So where Lime created a lot of confidence for us with regard to their expertise was being able to identify the surfaces that were going to be painted and the particular materials that they had researched that would allow the paint to not only adhere to, but also to be able to maintain over the long haul.
From an aesthetic standpoint, we advised the head of the school on whitewashing some brick, which would really modernize the property. We also talked to them about staining some wood surfaces that were looking pretty weathered. And finally, we talked to her about updating some metal surfaces, really the entrance signs around the property, and some other miscellaneous DTM coatings like the roof vents that surround the property.
Working with us on signage, as well as some fencing, and in addition to the building, including roofs, flashing, and really, really tall areas and pretty precarious painting structures, I would suppose.
So my primary job here at the Aspen Academy is really threefold. Number one is keeping in regular contact with the customer, the client, Christina. That involves meeting with her weekly, being in regular contact, whether through email or message. And whenever we would get together and meet, sometimes we would update colors or sheens, basically making sure that she's totally satisfied with the work that we're doing to that point. After the second part of my work is after I would meet with her, I would relay those messages to our creator, Ernesto, to make sure that our vision that we created with the client becomes a reality on the building. And then the third part of that is relaying messages to our artisans about the work that they're doing and making sure that they're on the same page with the client.
Hi, my name is Ernesto. I'm the creator for Lime Painting. For Aspen Academy, I did all of the quality control. I also make sure our artists understood what they need for this project.
Our initial meeting was with Nick, the owner, as well as members of his team. And then we set up a weekly meeting with Jim, and we would walk the job, and we would stay in regular communication, whether it be via text or phone.
Jim put the contract together for this job, and I worked with him about what was included so I could audit with our crew. I was here daily trying to ensure that we're on the schedule and to inform our crew for any change the client might have asked.
On site, Victor and Ernesto and their team were absolutely fantastic. Just great to work with. Here every day, the hardest workers. If I could figure out how to replicate them all over and bring them onto my team, I would in a heartbeat.
So my relationship with Nick, the franchise owner, as it pertains to this particular job at Aspen Academy, him and I got together with the client for the initial consultation. After that, Nick did not come to the job site. I was the one on the job site, And if there was any change orders that needed to be put through, I just relayed that message through our software. Every week I would update him on what we were doing, how the job was progressing. There'd be pictures on our software platform that Nick could audit the job. And basically everything was done virtually.
So not only would I recommend Lime, I have recommended Lime. So about 70% of our parents are entrepreneurs here. And we have, as a long-held value, that we support the folks that we partner with, right? And we continually iterate that as we move out. And so I know that there are several families from Aspen Academy who are now considering Lime.
I'd like to talk to you from a semi-absentee owner standpoint and what I did and what my dream team did. Because I wanted to, I came out initially and helped give the consultation with the visual reality consultant. But from there, the VRC and creator took over and helped assist the artisans in completing and delivering the brand for this particular project. The way that that looked was the VRC met with the client, ensured that they were happy, delivered a great experience, and ensured that what was on the contract was being communicated correctly and ultimately executed. He did that in tandem with the creator, who really coordinated production and assisted our artisans in ensuring that all of their checkpoints were successfully completed. And of course, last and most importantly, our artisans were able to transform this entire property with all the different skill sets that they were able to provide on this project. And that consisted of about 1 hour in total of my time on site. But from that point forward, I managed the account through coaching and managing KPIs over the phone and through our software technology.